Welcome, my friend. Today, we begin a journey of healing, not just of the body, but of the mind and the heart. Louise Hay believed something deeply powerful. Every thought we think is creating our future. Imagine that for a moment. The thoughts running through your mind every day are shaping the life you're living right now. If we think thoughts of fear, guilt, and resentment, we keep ourselves trapped in pain. But if we think thoughts of love, peace, and forgiveness, our lives begin to heal and transform. Louise often said that the universe always says yes. If you keep saying, "I'm not good enough," life agrees with you. You'll meet people and situations that confirm that belief. But if you say, "I am worthy of love," the universe will say yes again, and you'll start to attract love, kindness, and opportunities that prove you are. She didn't mean this as a fantasy, but as a truth of how the mind and energy work together. Your thoughts are like seeds planted in the soil of your mind. The words you speak, the emotions you feel, they water those seeds. So if you plant seeds of anger, you'll harvest pain. But if you plant seeds of peace, you'll harvest joy. Louise's own story is proof of this. She was not born into comfort. Her childhood was filled with trauma and hardship. She was abused, abandoned, and made to feel unworthy. For years, she carried those wounds. But one day, she realized, if my thoughts helped create my pain, then maybe I can use my thoughts to create healing. That was the beginning of her transformation. She learned to forgive her past. She started speaking loving affirmations to herself, even when it felt fake at first. She would look into the mirror and say, "I love you, Louise. You are worthy of all good things." And slowly, her heart began to soften. Her body began to heal. Her life began to shift. Louise believed there is one infinite intelligence. Some call it God, some call it life, or the universe. And this power flows through everything that exists. It doesn't judge us. It simply responds to the thoughts we give it. So when we think positively, we are in harmony with life. When we think negatively, we block that natural flow. She often said, "We are each responsible for all of our experiences." Now, that doesn't mean we blame ourselves for bad things that happen. It means we recognize that we have the power to respond differently, to change how we think and therefore how we live.
Imagine this. If you wake up every morning and say, "Today is going to be awful," you'll start noticing everything that supports that belief: traffic, rude people, small mistakes. But if you wake up and say, "I am grateful for this new day," something wonderful will happen. You'll notice beauty, kindness, and opportunities around you. Your mind is like a magnet. It attracts what it focuses on. And so, the lesson of this first chapter is simple but life-changing. You are not powerless. You are a creator. Every thought is a brushstroke painting the canvas of your life. Choose loving thoughts, and your world will reflect love back to you. Affirmations for this chapter. I am willing to change my thoughts. I am open and receptive to all the good life has to offer. I love and approve of myself exactly as I am. Life loves me, and I love life. Before we can heal, we must understand what truly needs healing. Many of us think the problem lies outside us: our job, our partner, our health, our finances. But Louise Hay invites us to look deeper. The real problem, she says, is not the situation itself, it's how we think and feel about it. Imagine two people losing their jobs. One feels destroyed, repeating, "I'll never find another one, I'm a failure." The other says, "Maybe this is life pushing me towards something better." Same event, completely different experience. The difference isn't luck, it's mindset. Louise believed that every problem we face is a reflection of a pattern of thought, often something we've been repeating for years. It might be guilt, fear, resentment, or the feeling of not being good enough. And until we change that inner pattern, the outer world keeps showing us the same lessons again and again. Think of life as a mirror. If you stand in front of the mirror and frown, you can't expect the reflection to smile back at you. If you want the reflection to change, you must smile first. Life works the same way. Change begins inside you. So, when you say, "I have a problem," pause and ask yourself, what am I thinking that might have created this? What am I believing about myself or life that allows this pattern to stay? Louise gives a powerful example. Imagine someone who always attracts critical people, friends, partners, even bosses who constantly put them down. On the surface, it looks like bad luck. But deep inside, maybe that person grew up hearing criticism and learned to believe, I deserve this. This is normal. When they begin to heal that belief, to tell themselves, I am worthy of respect and kindness, suddenly, life starts bringing them different kinds of people. This is how real healing begins. It's not about blaming ourselves, but understanding ourselves. It's about taking our power back, realizing we are not victims of life, but participants in it. Louise also taught that even physical illnesses often come from emotional causes. For example, she found that people with long-term resentment might experience diseases like arthritis. Those who feel powerless might struggle with back pain. People who feel unworthy may face constant financial trouble. She used these patterns not as strict rules, but as insights, ways to listen to what the body and mind are trying to say. Your body, she said, is always talking to you. Every ache, every illness is a message. Please, love me. Please, release this old thought. Here's something to try. The next time you face a problem, whether it's with money, relationships, or health, instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is this trying to teach me? That small change in perspective opens the door to healing. Affirmations for this chapter. I am willing to release the need for this problem. I am open to seeing things in a new way. I am safe and supported by life. Every problem has a solution, and I am ready to find it. Every thought has a root. Every belief we hold today came from somewhere, from a time when we were small and learning what the world meant. Louise Hay teaches us that the way we think about ourselves and life is mostly formed in early childhood, long before we even realize it. When we were little, we listened to the adults around us, parents, teachers, relatives. If they said, you're stupid, we believed it. If they said, money doesn't grow on trees, we believed it. If they said, you'll never amount to much, that too became a seed inside our minds. And that seed quietly grew, shaping how we saw ourselves and what we thought we deserved. Imagine a child hearing, be quiet, you're too much trouble. That child grows up afraid to speak up, always apologizing for existing. Or another child hears, you can't trust anyone, and later struggles to open their heart in love. These are not truths, they are programs. Programs written in our minds by people who were also repeating what they were taught. Louise reminds us, they were not bad people. They were simply doing the best they knew, based on their own pain and fear. So, when we look back at our childhood, we're not meant to judge or blame. We're meant to understand and release. Because once we see where the belief came from, we can choose to change it. Louise used to say, you are not a helpless victim of your past. You can change your thoughts now. And that's the most freeing idea of all, that we are not trapped by our history. Let's take a few common examples she gave. Example 1. Money. If you grew up hearing, money is hard to get, you may now unconsciously push away opportunities or feel guilty about success. When you replace that belief with, there is plenty of money, and I am open to receive it, your actions, energy, and results begin to shift. Example 2. Love. If you heard your parents fighting constantly, you might believe love equals pain. So you attract partners who repeat that pattern, until you heal the belief and tell yourself, I deserve peaceful, kind love. Example 3. Self-worth. If you were never praised as a child, you may constantly seek approval as an adult. But once you say, I approve of myself, I am enough, you stop needing others to fill that empty space. This chapter is about awareness. You cannot change what you don't understand, but once you see the pattern, you have power over it. Louise often guided people to do what she called mirror work. It's simple but deeply emotional. Stand in front of the mirror, look into your own eyes, and say, I love you. I'm willing to learn to love you more. At first, it feels strange. You may cry, you may feel resistance, but that's okay. That's your old beliefs trying to hold on. Keep going. Healing begins when love meets those old wounds. Remember, you were born perfect, full of love and possibility. Life simply covered that perfection with other people's fears. Your job now is not to become someone new, but to remember who you truly are. Affirmations for this chapter. I am willing to release old beliefs that no longer serve me. The past has no power over me. I am safe now, and I choose to create a new story for my life. I am worthy of love, peace, and all good things. Every belief we hold shapes our world. But Louise Hay asks us a simple, life-changing question. Is it true? Every time you say something negative about yourself, stop and ask, is this really true, or is it just something I learned long ago and never questioned? Most of us carry around beliefs that were handed to us like old family heirlooms. I'm not smart enough. I'll never be rich. No one loves me. I always get sick. We repeat these phrases so often that they become part of our identity. But when we pause and look closer, we see they were never ours to begin with. Louise teaches us that thoughts are only ideas, and ideas can be changed. You are not your thoughts. You are the thinker behind them. And that means you have the power to choose new ones. Let's take an example. Imagine a woman named Sarah who constantly says, "I'm so unlucky in relationships." Every time something goes wrong, she confirms her belief. See? I was right. But when she sits quietly and asks, "Is this true?" she realizes she's not unlucky. She's just been choosing people who reflect her old belief that she's unworthy of love. When she changes that inner belief, when she says, "I am worthy of a healthy, loving relationship," life begins to respond differently. Soon, she meets kinder people. Why? Because she finally believes she deserves kindness. Louise says, the only thing we are ever dealing with is a thought, and a thought can be changed. Every time you hear your inner critic say something harsh, pause and challenge it. For example, "I always fail." Right pointing arrow, is that really true? Haven't I succeeded many times before? I'll never change. Right pointing arrow, is that true? Haven't I grown already in many ways? I'm not good enough. Right pointing arrow says who? A voice from my past, or the truth of who I really am. You see, when you start to question your beliefs, their power over you begins to fade. It's like shining light into a dark room. Suddenly, what felt frightening loses its shape. Louise also reminds us to be gentle with ourselves during this process. She says healing isn't about fighting with old thoughts, it's about replacing them with loving ones. Instead of saying, "I hate this part of myself," say, "I am learning to love this part of myself." Love melts fear, slowly but surely. She tells the story of one of her clients, a man who constantly said, "I can't trust anyone." When she asked him where that came from, he said, "My father betrayed my mother when I was a child." Louise gently asked, "But is it true that no one can be trusted? Or was that just one man's mistake?" That moment was the first time he realized he'd been punishing every person in his life for something his father did decades ago. That awareness set him free. The power of this chapter is in the practice. Every time a painful thought appears, don't believe it immediately. Ask softly, "Is it true?" And if it isn't, choose a kinder thought. Because healing begins the moment you question what hurts you. Affirmations for this chapter. I am willing to question every negative belief I hold. I am open to new, loving thoughts. I choose thoughts that make me feel strong and peaceful. I am not my past. I am free to create a new future. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it begins the very moment we say, "I am willing." Louise Hay reminds us that we cannot clean out years of negative thinking in one day, but we can begin right now, in this moment, with one new thought. That single thought, "I am willing to change," is the door that opens to healing. Most of us resist change because it feels uncomfortable. Even when we know our old patterns are hurting us, they're familiar. And the familiar can feel safer than the unknown. But as Louise says, if you want a new life, you have to make new choices. So, how do we begin to change? She outlines a gentle process, not through force, but through awareness, forgiveness, and love. Step 1. Be willing. You don't need to know how to change, you just need to be willing. Tell yourself, "I am willing to release the need for this pattern." For example, if you always attract criticism, say, "I am willing to release the need to be criticized." That simple statement begins to loosen the energy of the problem. Louise would say, "When there is a problem, there is not something wrong with you. There is just an old thought you no longer need." Step 2. Understand it's only a thought. Remember that thoughts are not facts. They're just mental habits, things we've practiced for so long that we believe them. If you've practiced self-criticism for 20 years, it's okay. You can begin to practice self-love today. It's just a new mental muscle to strengthen. Try this. Each time you catch yourself thinking, "I can't," replace it with, "I can learn." When you say, "I'm too old," replace it with, "It's never too late to start." And when you hear, "I'll always be this way," respond gently, "I'm changing a little every day." Change happens through gentle repetition, not harsh self-discipline. Step 3. Stop blaming others. This step is hard but powerful. As long as we blame others, we give away our power. When we say, he hurt me, or she ruined my life, we lock ourselves in the past. But when we say, I choose to release this and move on, we free ourselves. Louise would often tell people, forgiveness is not about saying what happened was okay. It's about saying, I'm done carrying this pain. Forgiveness is not a one-time act, it's a process. And each time you forgive, you reclaim a piece of your energy that was stuck in resentment. Step 4. Practice affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that reprogram your mind. At first, they might feel untrue, but that's okay. You're planting new seeds. Start small. Every morning, look into the mirror and say, I love and approve of myself. I am open to change. Every day, my life gets better. Say it even if your mind argues back, because your heart is listening. Louise said that when you repeat loving affirmations, they sink deep into your subconscious, slowly replacing the old fears and doubts. It's like turning on the light in a room that's been dark for years. At first, it feels strange, but then you wonder how you ever lived in the dark. Step 5. Be kind to yourself. You are learning something new, and that takes patience. So talk to yourself like you would to a dear friend. If you fall back into an old pattern, don't scold yourself. Just say, it's okay. I'm still learning. Louise often said, you've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. When you begin to treat yourself with kindness, your world begins to mirror that kindness back to you. Affirmations for this chapter. I am willing to change. I release the need for old habits and patterns. I forgive myself and others, and I am free. Every thought I think is creating my beautiful new life. You've decided to change. You're repeating your affirmations, doing your mirror work, feeling hopeful. But suddenly, you hit a wall. You feel stuck, tired, or even irritated. You start to wonder, why isn't this working? Louise Hay smiles gently and says, that's resistance. Resistance, she explains, is completely natural. Every one of us has it. Even when we want to heal, even when we say we're ready. It's not a sign of failure, it's a sign that something inside us is afraid. Change means letting go of the familiar, and our old patterns, as painful as they are, feel safe because they're known. Our mind whispers, at least I understand this pain. What if something worse comes when I change? So we delay. We forget. We don't have time. We start saying things like, I'll start tomorrow. Sound familiar? That's resistance in disguise. Why we resist? Louise says we resist for one simple reason: fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of losing control. Fear of discovering who we might be without our old story. For example, a person who always says, I'm unlucky in love, might secretly fear what will happen if they stop believing that. Because if love comes, it might require them to open up, to be vulnerable. So they stay stuck in their old pattern because, deep down, it feels safer. Another person says, I'll never be rich, not because they truly can't, but because they fear success, the attention, the responsibility, or the risk of failing later. Our minds are clever. They protect us from what feels uncomfortable. But remember, comfort zones may feel safe, yet nothing grows there. How resistance shows up. Louise explains that resistance doesn't always look like anger or denial. It can show up quietly, as procrastination, fatigue, confusion, or endless reasons. For example, I don't have time to meditate. This isn't working anyway. I'll do my affirmations later. These are just the mind's gentle ways of saying, I'm scared. So instead of fighting resistance, talk to it. Say softly, it's okay. I know you're trying to protect me. But I'm safe now. I'm ready to grow. When you bring love to your resistance, it begins to melt. What to do when resistance appears? Louise suggests a few powerful practices. Acknowledge it without guilt. Say, I notice I'm resisting this change. That awareness alone begins to dissolve it. Don't push too hard. Be gentle. If you can't say, I love myself, start with, I'm willing to love myself. Even small willingness creates space for healing. Celebrate small steps. Every time you catch a negative thought and replace it with a positive one, that's progress. Each small act of awareness is a victory. Be patient. Remember, you've practiced your old thoughts for years. It's okay if new ones take time to feel natural. The key is consistency, not perfection. Louise shares a story of a client who began mirror work and said it made her angry. Instead of forcing it, Louise told her to simply look at herself in the mirror for a week. No words, no affirmations, just eye contact. By the end of the week, the woman began to cry, not from anger, but from finally seeing herself with compassion for the first time in years. That's how resistance transforms, not through pushing, but through kindness. Affirmations for this chapter. I am willing to release resistance. I am safe as I grow and change. I trust the process of life. Every step I take brings me closer to freedom and peace. Resistance is not the enemy, it's a scared part of you asking for love. When you embrace it with patience, it becomes your greatest teacher. One of the heaviest burdens we carry is the past. The hurts, the mistakes, the regrets, they weigh on us, often silently, shaping our thoughts, our emotions, and even our health. Louise Hay tells us, forgiveness is the key to freedom. Not because it changes the past, but because it frees your heart from its grip. Understanding the past. We all have memories that bring pain. A childhood that felt unfair. A relationship that betrayed us. Words spoken by someone who hurt us deeply. These memories are not bad, they are signals that something inside us needs healing. When we cling to anger or guilt, we replay those memories endlessly. It's like carrying a heavy backpack every day, one you don't need anymore. Louise's advice is simple yet profound. The past is over. It is done. What matters is this moment, and the choices you make now. The power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about excusing the wrong or pretending it didn't happen. It's about releasing the hold it has on you. It's saying, I no longer choose to carry this pain. Imagine a woman named Anna who was deeply hurt by a friend. For years, she carried resentment, replaying every detail in her mind. Her health suffered, she felt anxious, and she pushed away new friendships. Then, she tried something Louise suggested. She wrote a letter to her friend, not to send, but to release her feelings. She wrote everything: anger, sadness, fear. When she finished, she burned the letter as a symbolic act of letting go. Anna didn't forget the hurt, but she stopped letting it define her life. That is the essence of releasing the past, not erasing memories, but freeing your heart. How to release the past. Louise Hay recommends a few practical steps. Acknowledge your feelings. Sit quietly and feel the emotions without judgment. I am angry. I am hurt. I am sad. Naming the feeling is the first step toward healing. Forgive. Say quietly, I forgive you, and I forgive myself. I release this pain. Forgiveness is for you, not the other person. It's the key to your freedom. Use affirmations. Replace old hurtful beliefs with loving ones. Examples. I release the past and live in the present. I am willing to let go and heal. I forgive everyone and everything in my life. Visualize freedom. Close your eyes and imagine yourself letting go. The weight lifting, light filling your heart. Picture yourself smiling, walking freely, unburdened by yesterday. Real life example. Louise shares the story of a man who struggled with resentment toward his father. For decades, he felt bitterness, thinking, he never loved me. Louise guided him through mirror work and affirmations. I release you. I am free. I love myself. Within weeks, he felt lighter. His relationships improved. His body relaxed. He realized that the person he resented had been a teacher, showing him the power of choice, the choice to heal. Affirmations for this chapter. I release the past and embrace the present. I forgive everyone and everything in my life. I am free from pain, fear, and resentment. My heart is open, and I welcome peace and love. Remember, holding on to the past keeps you trapped. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, it means choosing freedom. The moment you release, you reclaim your life. This chapter is the heart of Louise Hay's teachings, the power of self-love. Louise says, the most powerful relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself. It sounds simple, yet so many of us have spent a lifetime criticizing, judging, or even hating ourselves. Why self-love matters. When we love ourselves, we attract healthier relationships. We make better choices. Our bodies, minds, and spirits thrive. Louise explains that self-love is not selfish, it's the foundation for a happy, fulfilling life. If you don't love yourself, you'll seek love externally in ways that may not serve you. But when you love yourself, love flows naturally from your being, and the world responds in kind. How to love yourself. Louise provides practical, gentle ways to cultivate self-love. Affirm yourself daily. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. I approve of you. I am worthy of happiness. At first, it may feel strange, maybe even awkward. But repetition rewires the subconscious mind. Accept your body. She often reminds us, your body is your home for life, treat it with kindness. Appreciate what it does for you. your heart beats, your lungs breathe, your hands create. Stop criticizing yourself and start thanking yourself. Be gentle with your mistakes. Louise says self-love includes self-forgiveness. If you fail or fall, say, I am learning. I am growing. I am still lovable. Do things that nourish you. Take care of your body, mind, and spirit. Eat what feeds you. Rest when needed. Laugh, play, dance. Self-love is expressed in daily acts of kindness toward yourself. Real-life example. Louise tells the story of a woman named Maria. Maria had spent years criticizing herself, feeling overweight, unattractive, and unworthy. She began daily affirmations. I love you. I accept you. You are beautiful. At first, she doubted every word. But slowly, her energy changed. She started smiling more, taking better care of herself, and attracting people who treated her kindly. Her life transformed, not magically, but because she started believing in her own worth. Affirmations for self-love. I love and accept myself completely. I am worthy of happiness, success, and love. Every day, I grow more confident and peaceful. I honor and cherish the person I am. Louise reminds us, loving yourself is not an act of vanity, it's an act of courage. Each time you choose self-love, you change your life from the inside out. Every experience in your life begins with a thought. Louise Hay teaches that our thoughts are like seeds. What we plant in our minds, we eventually harvest in our lives. Positive thoughts create joy, health, and abundance. Negative thoughts create fear, pain, and limitation. Thoughts shape reality. Think of your mind as a fertile garden. If you plant weeds, thoughts like, I'm not enough, or, life is hard, weeds will grow and spread. If you plant seeds of love, gratitude, and possibility, those seeds blossom into beautiful experiences. Louise emphasizes that you are never a victim of life, you are a co-creator. It's not about blame or guilt, it's about awareness and choice. Once you realize the power of your thoughts, you can consciously create the life you want. How to harness the power of thoughts. Observe your thoughts. Start noticing what you think daily. Are your thoughts supportive or critical? Awareness is the first step toward change. Replace negativity. When a negative thought arises, gently replace it with a positive one. Example. Negative. I can't do this. Positive. I am capable, and I learn every day. Affirm daily. Affirmations help plant new seeds in the mind. Examples Louise recommends. I am worthy of love and success. Every day, I am becoming healthier and stronger. I choose thoughts that serve me. Visualize success. Picture yourself living the life you desire. Feel the emotions of joy, gratitude, and love as if it's already happening. Visualization strengthens belief and helps manifest your goals. Real-life example. Louise tells the story of a man named David who constantly worried about money. He would say, I'll never have enough. Every bill, every setback, seemed to prove his belief right. Louise encouraged him to start affirmations. There is plenty of money, and I am open to receiving it. He visualized abundance, expressed gratitude for small gains, and slowly, opportunities began to appear. Within months, his financial situation improved, not because of luck, but because his mind's energy aligned with abundance. Affirmations for thoughts. I am the master of my thoughts. I choose love, joy, and abundance every day. My thoughts create my life, and I am creating a beautiful life. I release fear and embrace possibility. Louise reminds us, you cannot control what happens outside, but you can control what happens inside. Change your thoughts, and your world begins to change with them. Our bodies are a reflection of our inner thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Louise Hay teaches that physical illness often begins in the mind, as negative patterns, stress, or unexpressed emotions. She reminds us, every disease is an expression of a belief that is not true, or a thought that is harmful to the body or mind. Understanding the mind-body connection. Think of the body as a messenger. Pain, tension, fatigue, or chronic illness is not punishment, it's a signal. It's saying, pay attention. There is something in your thoughts or emotions that needs healing. Louise explains that emotional patterns often show up in specific parts of the body. Back pain may indicate fear or lack of support. Headaches can reflect stubbornness or tension in the mind. Digestive issues may point to worry, fear, or difficulty digesting life experiences. When we recognize these signals, we gain power. Healing isn't just about medicine, it's about addressing the root cause within the mind and emotions. How to heal your body. Change your thoughts. Replace negative beliefs with positive affirmations. Example. Old thought, I am weak and sickly. New thought, my body is strong, healthy, and capable of healing. Forgive and release. Resentment and anger create stress in the body. Louise advises releasing past hurts and forgiving yourself and others to restore harmony. Visualize healing. Close your eyes and picture your body healthy and whole. Feel the energy of vitality flowing through every cell. Visualization supports the mind-body connection. Affirm health daily. Speak loving statements to your body. I am healthy, whole, and strong. Every cell in my body vibrates with life and health. I am grateful for my body and all it does for me. Real-life example. Louise shares the story of a woman named Claire who struggled with chronic migraines. Traditional treatments helped temporarily, but the pain always returned. Through mirror work, affirmations, and forgiveness practices, Claire began to release deep-seated anger and fear. She repeated daily affirmations. I forgive myself. I forgive others. My body is safe. I am healthy. Over time, her migraines decreased and eventually disappeared. Her body responded to her love, not just medicine, a testament to the power of thought, belief, and emotional healing. Affirmations for healing. My body is my friend, and I treat it with love and respect. I release fear, anger, and resentment from my body and mind. Every day, in every way, I am becoming healthier and stronger. I am grateful for my body and its ability to heal. Louise reminds us, healing begins with thought. Love your body, love yourself, and your body will respond. Your body is listening. Speak to it with kindness, and it will transform. Your mind is your most powerful tool. It shapes your reality, your health, and your happiness. Louise Hay teaches that every thought, every belief, and every word you speak carries energy that influences your life. Change your thoughts and you change your life, she reminds us. Conscious thinking. Many people live unconsciously, repeating old thoughts and beliefs without realizing their power. I'll never be successful. Life is hard. I'm not good enough. These repeated thoughts create patterns that manifest in every area of life, relationships, work, health, and finances. Louise emphasizes that awareness is the first step. Notice your thoughts. Listen to your words. Observe how your mind reacts to situations. Once you are aware, you can choose which thoughts to nurture and which to release. Reprogramming the mind. Changing your mind begins with self-approval and loving thoughts. Affirm yourself. Speak directly to your mind and heart. I approve of myself. I love myself exactly as I am. I am worthy of all good things. Release limiting beliefs. Identify thoughts that block your growth. I don't deserve success. I can't handle change. I'm too old to learn. Challenge them by asking, is this really true? And replace them with empowering thoughts. Focus on possibility. Instead of dwelling on fear or lack, focus on what's possible. I can learn and grow every day. Abundance is available to me. I choose to see opportunities everywhere. Real-life example. Louise tells the story of a man named Robert who struggled with low self-esteem and financial difficulties. He constantly thought, I'm not capable. I'll always struggle. When he began daily affirmations, I am capable. I am worthy. I attract abundance, and visualized success, his mindset shifted. He started seeing opportunities, taking action, and attracting supportive people. Within months, his life began to change, demonstrating that the mind truly creates reality. Affirmations for the mind. I am the master of my thoughts. I choose thoughts that empower and uplift me. I approve of myself and my decisions. My mind is filled with love, clarity, and abundance. Louise reminds us, you are a living magnet. Whatever you hold in your mind, you attract. By consciously directing your thoughts, you can create a life full of joy, love, and possibility. Our mind and body are deeply intertwined. Louise Hay teaches that thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not separate from our physical health, they are intimately connected. Every mental pattern we hold has a physical effect, she says. When we carry fear, anger, or guilt, our bodies respond with tension, illness, or fatigue. When we embrace love, forgiveness, and positive thoughts, our bodies respond with healing and vitality. How the mind affects the body. Imagine the mind as the software and the body as the hardware. Negative programming, such as fear, resentment, or self-criticism, creates stress in the system. This stress can show up as headaches, digestive problems, back pain, or chronic illness. For example, chronic neck or shoulder tension can reflect holding on to responsibility or worry. Digestive problems may indicate difficulty digesting, life experiences, or feeling anxious. Repeated colds or fatigue may signal emotional exhaustion. Louise reminds us, these are not punishments, they are signals that something needs attention. How to heal through awareness. Listen to your body. Pay attention to pain, tension, or recurring issues. Ask, what am I thinking or feeling that could be affecting my body? Release negative beliefs. Identify patterns that harm your mind and body. I am not safe. I am not worthy. Replace them with healing affirmations. Use positive thoughts and affirmations. Speak lovingly to your body. I am healthy and strong. Every cell in my body radiates life and vitality. I am safe, loved, and supported. Forgive and let go. Emotional baggage directly affects physical health. Louise encourages releasing resentment, fear, and guilt to allow the body to heal. Real-life example. Louise shares the story of a woman who had chronic stomach issues. Traditional treatments helped temporarily, but the pain kept returning. Through affirmations, mirror work, and forgiveness exercises, she realized she had been holding on to fear and guilt about past relationships. As she consciously released these emotions and replaced them with love and acceptance, her stomach healed naturally. This showed the profound power of aligning the mind with the body. Affirmations for mind-body healing. My body listens to my loving thoughts. I release all tension, fear, and guilt. I am healthy, vibrant, and full of energy. Love and peace flow through me, healing every part of my being. Louise reminds us, your body is always responding to your thoughts and feelings. When you choose love, gratitude, and forgiveness, your body thrives. Healing is a partnership between your mind, your emotions, and your physical self. Your life is a reflection of your thoughts, beliefs, and choices. Louise Hay reminds us, you have the power to create the life you desire, one thought at a time. Every experience, relationship, and circumstance in your life has been shaped by your mind. The good news? You can consciously shape it moving forward. The power of choice. You are not a passive observer in your life. Every day, you choose how you react to situations, what you believe about yourself, how you treat others and yourself. Even small changes in thought patterns create ripple effects. Choosing love over fear, hope over worry, gratitude over resentment, these choices gradually transform your life. Steps to create the life you desire. Decide what you want. Be clear about your desires, health, relationships, abundance, peace. Write them down. Visualize them in detail. Feel the emotions as if they are already real. Release limiting beliefs. Identify thoughts that block you. I don't deserve happiness. I can't succeed. Life is always hard. Replace them with empowering beliefs. Affirm your desires. Speak your new reality daily. I am attracting love and joy. Abundance flows easily to me. I am healthy, confident, and successful. Take inspired action. Thoughts alone aren't enough, action is required. Follow your intuition, take small steps, and trust the process. Practice gratitude. Gratitude amplifies creation. Appreciate what you already have and what is coming. Gratitude signals to the universe, I'm ready for more good in my life. Real-life example. Louise shares the story of a man who wanted a new career. He had long believed, I'll never get a job I love. Through visualization, affirmations, and inspired action, he gradually aligned his thoughts with his desire. I am capable. I attract opportunities I love. Within months, he received a new position that matched his skills and passion, showing the power of conscious creation. Affirmations for creating your life. I am the creator of my reality. I attract love, joy, and abundance. Every thought I think is shaping my beautiful life. I trust the process of life and embrace positive change. Louise reminds us, your life can be as wonderful as you choose to make it. You are the artist, your mind is the brush, your thoughts are the colors, and your life is the masterpiece. Our relationships reflect our inner world. Louise Hay teaches, the quality of your relationships mirrors the quality of the relationship you have with yourself. If you are critical, fearful, or unloving toward yourself, it will show up in your connections. If you love, forgive, and accept yourself, you naturally attract healthier, more loving relationships. Understanding relationship patterns. Many of us unconsciously repeat old patterns, choosing partners who reflect past hurts. Reacting from fear rather than love. Holding grudges or expecting others to change. Louise explains that these patterns are opportunities to learn. Each relationship, pleasant or challenging, is a teacher, showing us where we need love, forgiveness, and growth. How to create loving relationships. Start with self-love. The foundation of all relationships is the love you give yourself. Accept your strengths and weaknesses. Treat yourself kindly. Release past hurts. Forgive previous partners, friends, or family members. Let go of resentment, blame, or guilt. Only then can new, healthy relationships flow into your life. Practice appreciation. Focus on the positive qualities in others. Express gratitude and kindness. Love grows when attention is placed on what is good, not what is lacking. Set healthy boundaries. Loving relationships require respect and balance. Be clear about your needs, and honor the needs of others. Boundaries are an act of self-love, not selfishness. Real-life example. Louise shares the story of a woman named Sarah, who repeatedly attracted partners who were unavailable or unkind. Through mirror work, affirmations, and self-love, Sarah began changing her inner beliefs. I am worthy of love. I choose loving, respectful relationships. Slowly, her pattern shifted. She attracted a partner who was kind, supportive, and aligned with her values. Louise emphasizes, the love you seek outside begins within. Affirmations for relationships. I love and approve of myself completely. I attract healthy, loving, and supportive relationships. I forgive past relationships and release all hurt. Love flows to me effortlessly, and I share it freely. Louise reminds us, love is the most powerful force in the universe. When you love yourself, you radiate love, and your relationships reflect this beauty. Work and prosperity are reflections of our inner beliefs about ourselves and the world. Louise Hay teaches, abundance is not just money, it is the flow of all good things in your life. Our beliefs about work, money, and success directly shape our experiences. Limiting beliefs such as, I'll never be wealthy, or, I have to struggle to survive, create struggle, while positive beliefs attract opportunity and fulfillment. Understanding prosperity. Many people struggle financially because they unconsciously hold negative thoughts about money. Money is hard to get. Rich people are greedy. I'll never have enough. Louise emphasizes that prosperity is about mindset first. When we believe abundance is possible and deserve it, opportunities naturally appear. How to align with prosperity. Change your beliefs about money. Identify and release negative patterns. Replace thoughts like, I can't afford this, with, I am open to receiving abundance. Use affirmations daily. Examples Louise recommends. I am open and receptive to all the good life offers me. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. I deserve prosperity in all areas of my life. Act with integrity and joy. Prosperity is not just about thinking positively, it's about acting with intention. Do your work with love, excellence, and honesty. When your work aligns with your values, abundance follows naturally. Express gratitude. Gratitude for what you have multiplies your wealth. Appreciate small gains, opportunities, and successes. The universe responds in kind. Real-life example. Louise tells the story of a man who constantly feared losing his job and money. He believed, I will never have enough. Through daily affirmations, visualization, and gratitude, he gradually shifted his mindset. I am abundant. I attract opportunities. I am successful. Soon, he found not only a stable career but also opportunities for growth and additional income. His inner change manifested as outer prosperity. Affirmations for work and prosperity. I am worthy of abundance and success. Money and opportunities flow to me easily. I do work I love, and it supports me fully. I am grateful for the prosperity in my life, and I welcome more each day. Louise reminds us, abundance is your natural state. Align your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with prosperity, and life will respond generously. Spiritual connection is the foundation of a balanced, joyful, and fulfilled life. Louise Hay teaches, connecting with the divine, however you understand it, brings peace, guidance, and healing. Whether you call it God, the universe, source, or your higher self, this connection reminds you that you are never alone. Life supports you when you align your thoughts, actions, and intentions with love and truth. Understanding spiritual connection. When we are disconnected spiritually, we may feel anxious, stressed, or fearful. Unfulfilled in relationships or work. Stuck in old patterns. Louise explains that spiritual connection isn't about religion, it's about trust, surrender, and awareness. It's the understanding that life is a flow, and you are a conscious part of that flow. How to cultivate spiritual connection. Meditation and silence. Spend a few minutes daily in quiet reflection. Listen to your inner voice and notice your intuition. Prayer or affirmation. Speak your desires, gratitude, and intentions to the universe or your higher power. Examples. I trust the flow of life. I am guided, loved, and supported. Align actions with values. When your daily actions reflect your highest values, you strengthen your spiritual connection. Act with love, honesty, and integrity. Practice gratitude. Appreciation expands awareness of the abundance and love that surrounds you. Real-life example. Louise tells the story of a woman named Helen, who felt lost and anxious about her future. Through daily meditation, affirmations, and spiritual practices, she gradually felt guidance and clarity. She began noticing opportunities, meeting supportive people, and feeling inner peace. Her life transformed, not magically, but because she opened herself to spiritual guidance and trusted the process. Affirmations for spiritual connection. I am connected to the divine source of all life. I trust in the guidance of my higher self. Love, peace, and abundance flow to me effortlessly. I am supported, protected, and guided every moment. Louise reminds us, your spiritual connection is your anchor, your guide, and your source of infinite love and wisdom. Nurture it daily, and your life blossoms. Joy is not something you wait for, it is a choice, a practice, and a state of being. Louise Hay teaches, happiness is a habit. You can cultivate joy in your life by choosing thoughts, actions, and attitudes that uplift you. Many people wait for external circumstances to make them happy, a promotion, a relationship, or a material possession. True joy, Louise reminds us, comes from within. How to invite joy into your life. Gratitude daily. Focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Appreciation turns ordinary moments into celebrations. Play and creativity. Engage in activities that make you laugh, smile, and feel alive. Dance, draw, sing, or explore nature. Joy grows when we reconnect with our inner child. Surround yourself with positivity. Be with people, books, music, and environments that inspire you. Avoid energy-draining negativity whenever possible. Affirmations for happiness. Speak words that uplift your spirit. I choose joy in every moment. Happiness is my natural state. I radiate love, peace, and laughter. Real-life example. Louise shares the story of a woman named Emily who felt stuck in a cycle of stress and worry. She began a daily practice of gratitude and playful activities, even for just a few minutes a day. At first, it felt small, almost insignificant. But gradually, she noticed a shift. She smiled more, felt lighter, and attracted positive people and experiences. Joy, Louise explains, grows when we nurture it intentionally. Affirmations for living with joy. I choose joy in all circumstances. I am playful, creative, and lighthearted. Every day, I find reasons to smile and celebrate life. Happiness flows naturally to me and through me. Louise reminds us, joy is your birthright. Choose it every day, and your life becomes a reflection of your heart's light. Love is the most powerful force for transformation and healing. Louise Hay teaches, to heal your life, you must first heal your heart. Love yourself, love others, and love life. Love is not just a feeling, it is an energy that heals, restores, and transforms. When we open our hearts to love, we release fear, resentment, and pain, making room for joy, peace, and vitality. The power of self-love. Healing begins with yourself. Accept your imperfections. Forgive past mistakes. Treat yourself with compassion and kindness. Louise emphasizes, you cannot truly love others until you love yourself fully. When you embrace self-love, your body, mind, and spirit respond with health, energy, and happiness. How love heals relationships. Forgive and release. Holding grudges blocks love and healing. Let go of past pain and allow your heart to open. Express gratitude and appreciation. Focus on the good in others. Speak words of love and kindness. This strengthens bonds and creates a harmonious environment. Listen and connect deeply. Healing relationships requires empathy and presence. Listen to understand, not to respond. Affirm love daily. Examples. I am worthy of love and affection. Love flows freely to me and through me. I forgive and release, and my heart is at peace. Real-life example. Louise shares the story of a man named Thomas who struggled with anger toward his father for years. Through daily affirmations and forgiveness exercises, he gradually opened his heart. I forgive you. I love you. I release the past. This shift not only healed his relationship with his father but also improved his own health, reduced stress, and strengthened his other relationships. Love, Louise explains, is a healer, for yourself and for everyone you touch. Affirmations for love and healing. I love myself completely and unconditionally. I forgive and release all past hurts. Love flows to me and through me effortlessly. My heart is open, healed, and full of joy. Louise reminds us, love is the greatest healer. When you fill your heart with love, your mind, body, and life follow. Mirror work, a practical technique for self-love. Louise Hay's mirror work is one of her most powerful tools for transforming your relationship with yourself. She says, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Mirror work teaches you to love, accept, and approve of yourself fully. Mirror work is simple in practice but profound in effect. It involves looking directly into your own eyes in a mirror, speaking affirmations aloud, and truly feeling the words. How to practice mirror work. Find a quiet space. Stand or sit in front of a mirror where you can see your face clearly. Look into your eyes. Gaze softly at your reflection. Notice your expression. Breathe deeply. Speak loving affirmations. Say words like, I love you. I am worthy. I forgive you. You are beautiful, capable, and whole. Feel the words. Don't just say them. Feel them in your heart. Let the energy of love and acceptance flow through you. Daily practice. Practice daily for a few minutes. Over time, this rewires your subconscious mind and heals emotional wounds, boosting confidence, self-love, and inner peace. Real-life example. Louise shares the story of a woman named Anna. Anna felt unworthy, anxious, and constantly critical of herself. When she began mirror work, saying daily affirmations like, I love and accept you exactly as you are, she initially felt awkward. But gradually, her self-criticism faded. She became more confident, joyful, and loving toward herself, and her relationships and life began to reflect that transformation. Key affirmations for mirror work. I love you. I approve of you. I am worthy of happiness, love, and success. Every day, I grow stronger, healthier, and more confident. I forgive myself and release all that no longer serves me. Integrating mirror work into your life. Start your day with mirror work to set a positive tone. Use it to calm yourself during stressful moments. Repeat it when you face challenges, self-doubt, or fear. Pair it with affirmations, visualization, and gratitude for even deeper results. Louise Hay reminds us, healing is not a matter of changing the world outside, it is a matter of changing the world inside. When you love yourself, forgive yourself, and affirm your worth, life responds with love, opportunity, and joy. Life is a mirror. The love, gratitude, and positivity you give yourself reflects back in every area of your life. You are the creator of your experiences, the author of your story, and the artist of your life. Every thought, word, and act of self-love plants a seed for healing, happiness, and fulfillment. I love myself fully and unconditionally. I am worthy of all the good in life. I trust the process of life and embrace its gifts. Love, peace, and joy flow through me now and always. Louise's final message. You have the power to heal your life. Begin with yourself, begin today, and let love transform every moment.